What up YouTube, your boy the Flying Spanner here. Today we have a model airport update and it's the UK version as you can see. So today's video we've got a quite a sad goodbye. So one of our based airlines is retiring probably one of my favourite aircraft, but probably the most versatile aircraft that we're ever going to see. And it probably will never be replaced. We'll get to that when we get there. And also, I don't know why, but for some reason I couldn't line up the boards quite right. So they're a bit, so normally they're pretty flush with each other, whereas today I've tried every configuration with the little stilt things underneath of the supports, but there's a gap everywhere, and also they're a bit high on one side, low on the other side, and it's just all a bit confusing. But moving ahead, in today's update we have quite a few Canadian carriers. I think I've covered this time, I've covered ever so slightly earlier in the schedule before. So this is based at 5 minutes past 12 on I think a Tuesday. So I think there's quite a repeat of a few airlines or a few aircraft that you've probably seen in a previous few updates. So with that said though, let's crack on. So we're going to start off over in the corner. Every time I hit the data building, I don't know why I made it so deep. I don't need to make it into that triangle. Right, so we're starting off with a special little custom I've made. So I'm not going to keep it like this, just because I realise Aero Classics have apparently released the version. But here's my version. So here is the BA Better World A320neo. Completely lost grip of my phone there. BA A320neo, registration Tango Tango November Alpha. So this is a custom I've done. It's not the best, but to be honest, the complexity of it, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Normally when I've tried kind of a full body wrap in a way, it's gone terribly, but that's actually turned out all right. So the decals themselves, of course, I've made myself with assistance of other resources. I've kind of tweaked the colouring to what I think what it is in real life, but I think it is still a little bit lighter. As I said, I'm overall quite happy with it, but it's not going to stay like this because Aero Classics have made their own. And that should be released, I believe, in November. So schedule wise, this aircraft's just being cleaned, so BA have quite a long midday turnaround, so it gets cleaned up here, service and all the good stuff, and that will be heading out to Heathrow as the shuttle. Next to that, we've got the Virgin A350. This aircraft is operating out to JFK in a couple hours time. So with the US borders opening, of course I haven't done an update since then. Come November, pretty much all the ops are back to normal. I know that the aircraft are flying, but there's going to be even more flying, if that makes sense, in the future. So we have, that one's going out to JFK. Then I'm going to move over here. So here is the retiree that I was speaking about. So this aircraft arrived in from Luton from its end of lease check, and will be towed to the maintenance, kind of our hangar that we have here at the airport, for its final checks. And I believe this aircraft's moving on and will be heading to a freighter. So that's quite interesting, rather than it's not going to meet its doom in St. Athan, where it'll be scrapped. It's going to be converted, have a pole cut out and a massive door put in. So sad to see them go, and that's probably the last time you'll see a 2E757 at the airport. But it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so happy NG Models have released a 2E liveried, and I've released I believe even Thompson 75s. I've got the first choice one at home. That will be for my display collection, as I call it. So yeah, sad to see them, but unfortunately this TUI Max has taken over now, and their time has finally come to rest. Well, from the charter side anyway. So, speaking of the TUI Max, this aircraft is arriving in from Reus and is heading out to Skiathos. That's just taxiing to stand 7. Then next up, just arrived in, we've got the Etihad 787-9 in the Man City livery. A very nice livery, just showing about the team. This aircraft arrived in from Abu Dhabi. Then just boarding, we've got the Sri Lankan A330. This aircraft's heading out to Colombo. Next to that, another frequent aircraft, I'd say, from past updates. We have the Cathay A350. This aircraft's just boarding up, final stages of boarding, that is, and they'll be heading out to Hong Kong. So in Manchester, the Cathay is doing a weird Charles de Gaulle Frankfurt loop. I haven't quite incorporated that into the schedule, so it's still doing just Hong Kong for now. Next to that, we've got the Virgin A350, another one. This aircraft's just starting boarding and will be heading over to, where are they going? LA. Right, next to that, I'm making use of them. So back on a daily service, we have a Iceland Air 757. So some days it's going to be a 75, and other days it's going to be a Max. We have a Singapore 350. So it's nice to have Iceland Air back in, especially in full service. They were kind of coming in and going as they please. So this aircraft's operating Keflavik or Reykjavik. I think that's the same airport anyway. Right. So we have, opposite of that, just there unloading, we've got the Turkish Cargo 777-200. It's by Phoenix. So I've got this one kind of, I think, 15 quid cheaper than the other ones, purely because it's got a slight tail issue apparently, so the tail's slightly off, so it was kind of money off there from eBay, so that saved a bit of money, which is great. This aircraft is just unloading and then from Istanbul, and it's heading back out to Istanbul. So it's nice to have a Turkish Cargo. I do see them come into Heathrow every so often. Right, here is the main reason why I wanted to do this update. It's so far I've had it for a while, but I haven't been able to, I haven't shown it in an update yet. So we have the Middle Eastern Airlines A321neo by JC Wings. This aircraft's operating Beirut. I really wish someone would release a MEA 330, but I think I'll just stick with the 321 by now. I do really like the, big fan of the scheme. So, just sitting on a 2-1 left, we got the ASL 757 by NG Models, another model I've had for a while but I haven't used it in an update. I haven't actually incorporated into it into the schedule. So what I'm going to be doing is it will be doing Belfast in the morning, and then heading out to, I think, Liège in the evening, and then returns sometime during the night and does the same again. So this might be based, I'm debating having it here most of the day anyway. But yeah, that'd be quite cool to have an aircraft always on the ground, but I suppose it'll get a bit boring in updates. Next, we've got the Air Transat A321neo, so we're starting our little Canadian area. This aircraft's just arrived in from Toronto, and that's now a daily service, I believe, so nice to have the Air Transat back and operating. So, final few, we have a Air Canada 777-300. This aircraft's just being serviced and is operating the Vancouver today. So there's a Vancouver and Montreal, I believe, for Air Canada. I think Vancouver's the later one, Montreal's the earlier. So, also being serviced, we have the WestJet 787-9, which is operating Calgary, I believe. Let me just double check. Yep, Calgary. So I'm not too sure whether they're going to resume a St John's service with a 73 Max, or even get Toronto, and I know definitely they're sticking with Calgary, but we might see a WestJet Max in the future anyway, maybe early in the new year. So final aircraft of the update, we've got the United 787-10. Boarding's finished and it is just being catered and serviced. This aircraft is operating the Houston route today. So that pretty much sums up for the update. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. I've kind of sorted out the border a bit, so it's closer together, so it's not as out as it was before, which is good. Yeah, that sums up. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Have a very good weekend, and I'll see you later. Adios and goodbye.